Hi, this is Adrienne Brown, your homeschool mom of 8. Today, I am going to talk to you about some do's and don'ts of homeschooling. These are things that you must do in order to have a successful homeschool. Now, stay with me until the end of this video because I have some awesome resources that you will love. To have a successful homeschool, you must set boundaries when it comes to having your kids do what they're told. If they don't do what they're told, there needs to be strict consequences and repercussions. This is not negotiable. When it comes to running a successful homeschool, your children must respect the boundaries. In order to have a well-ran homeschool, you got to have order. You just have to. And that is why you need the boundaries to help you to maintain that order within your home. I grew up in a home, I wasn't homeschooled, but the house I grew up in, it was chaos all of the time because there were no boundaries, there were no consequences, there were no repercussions of what the people did that came into our home as a child. And I suffered because of that. I did not want to recreate that in my homeschool, and you should not either. And when you homeschool on a regular basis, if you do choose Monday through Friday, you must correct your work as soon as possible because the kids want to know what they have done, how they have done. I have watched my children complete a quiz or a test, or they did some sort of reading, timed reading, and they are expecting me to correct it right then and there. They want me to hurry up and give it to them. And I do understand that. I would want to know how I have done it on something, on a test or whatever. So try as best as you can to correct your work as soon as possible. Now, let me address that taboo word, socialization. Okay, I know and you know that we can't keep our kids away from people because one day, somehow, somewhere, they're going to run into people. So you may not be able to keep them from people, but you can monitor who they are around at all times. Because, and as a matter of fact, a parent who is faithful and doing what they're supposed to do will do exactly that. It doesn't matter. You will get some slack. You will get some pushback from your children as well as from people around you, especially if you are on like teams or in church, in a youth group or whatever. You're going to have people that's going to tell you, oh, you need to, cut the apron straight. You need to. Actually, that happened to me. Someone told me that I needed to do that with my kids. And I politely said to that person, it won't be today. Not today. But anyway, you do need to make an extra effort as a homeschooling parent to get them socialized, to have them, let them participate in outside stuff other than the house. Because, it's so weird that I told you I have two batches of children that I have homeschooled for over a span of 27 years. The older group, they have come back and told me that a lot of the homeschooling kids, many of the homeschooling kids that they have met are kind of strange and antisocial. My children are not antisocial because I made a conscious effort to try to get around all sorts of people as I was homeschooling. It didn't always work. They didn't always meet good people, but I did make a conscious effort of doing that. And that was I did that by way of letting them play sports, letting them participate in activities in and outside the church, and having multiple gatherings in my home with lots of people. That is something you must do as a homeschooling parent. And to go along with socialization, as a parent, you must understand and realize that boys and girls are not the same. They're different. And they need different types of socialization. I have seen, like I said, I have 6 boys and 2 girls, and I have seen how the boys interact with one another and the kind of things that they like and the things that they're entertained by. I mean, hey, I could just buy a pizza and get a game, give them a video game and invite 5 or 6 people and they're happy. But with the girls, that's kind of different. They wanted to do different things. They want to play with makeup, dress up, go into the store and shop and look at clothes and stuff like that and jewelry and things for their hair. And boy, it's kind of draining. And I learned the hard way because at first I only had boys. But my husband and I had to, we adopted some kids and 2 of them are girls. And so believe me, that was an education for us to relearn or to know how to be sensitive to their needs. So don't forget, as a homeschooling parent, you must know, no matter what society is telling you, boys and girls need different types of socialization. As a homeschooling parent, I want to tell you, don't have this big grandiose picture in your mind about what your kids' futures are going to be like. Take it from me. I have, 6 that are gone and grown. And their futures are nothing like I thought they were going to be. I mean, they did choose a vocation, a career, and the majority of them stuck to it, but some of them did not. But and I only thing we decided to do was to equip them to make the decisions that they needed in order to be who they wanted to be out in the world. But I can remember when they were really the first batch were really little. I used to think in my mind, okay, well maybe we'll do this and we'll build a extra home on our property and we'll be this great family like Little House on the Prairie. Boy, was that a fantasy. It's nothing like that. Our kids, although we moved them to the country so they can have ample space to have fun and a place to run without worrying about cars and stuff like that, they don't want to live in the country. They want to live in the city, which is perfectly fine with me. We just wanted to make sure that we equip them to be able to make those choices also. So even though you may have all these great ideas and great expectations for your children, you have to equip your children for their future, not yours. As parents, we are homeschooling our kids. We are making sure that they are equipped and have everything that they need to be successful. But guess what? We also have to be teachable. We also have to be able to learn and to be able to reset if we have to. Believe me, that is not easy, especially if you are successful doing something in a certain way, because people are different. As you know, you're probably like night and day with your spouse. My spouse and I are really different. We're not the same. So give that grace to your kids too. It's important. I'm saying that because if you have more than one child, you're gonna find out that they are different. They learn differently. I have had all the way from the child who didn't really need much from me, the child who could take their books and just finish everything, all the way down to the child to where I had to sit there and do practically everything with the child. That I had to sit there 24/7. And that is what homeschooling is all about. As a matter of fact, you are the one that's homeschooling the child. So you're supposed to be available for them as much as they need you. But let me warn you, make sure that you train them. Get them trained into a way that they can be independent learners. That's the beauty of homeschooling, that they can take their time, they can go fast if they want to. But just remember that your children are not going to be carbon copies of one another. They're going to be different, and you're going to have to homeschool them according to themselves. The other thing I want to tell you is, as you're homeschooling, you've got to remember that your homeschool needs to have some sort of order. Just like I talked about boundaries and order earlier, that you need to have order in your record keeping, your assignment, your test taking, your quizzes. You need to have order, because and you have to have something that you follow, so you'll know what is needed next in the progress of that child's education. When you're starting out on a certain, the beginning of the year, you have to have some way to keep track of what they are supposed to be doing, so that you will cover everything that they need for that year. And particularly when you get to the teen, to the high school age, that is so very, very important, because you don't want to get to the end of the 9th grade year and not know what your child did, because how are you going to update their transcript if you don't know these things? So those are some important things that I have learned over the years, the 27 years that we have been homeschooling. Now, let me tell you about 2 awesome resources that are going to help you get your homeschooling house in order, and it's going to help you to keep that order and those boundaries that I was talking about earlier. The first one is Transcript Maker. Now, this is an online tool that you use when your kids start 9th grade to 12th grade, for you to a place where you can maintain your records, your grades, and all their activities, so that you can produce a professional looking transcript for those of your children that are college bound. And believe me, all you have to do is maintain your records throughout the year, and then at the end of the year, plug those grades into the program, and your children will have a beautiful transcript. And the second resource I want to tell you about is School Profile. A school profile this was created by a woman by the name of Lisa Davis. And the reason why I'm telling you about it is because last year was the first time ever that I had to come up and produce a school profile. So I had no idea what that was. The Air Force Academy asked me, did I have a school profile? Oh my goodness, I did not. But I Googled it and I found Lisa Davis, and boy, was this a time saver. She gave me exactly what I needed. I mean, she has a resource that she offers for you to create a beautiful historical school profile for your homeschool. Those are the 2 resources that I would love for you to try out in your homeschool, especially if you are working with a teen, a 9th grader this year. Okay, my name is Adrienne Brown, the Homeschool Mom of 8, and I am here because I love to help you be the hero of your homeschool. Make sure you subscribe and like and give me a follow. Okay, thank you. Bye.